what's the strangest word you've used for an audible at the line of scrimmage? We've this whole thing with Peyton Manning with Omaha. Have you ever had like a fun one of your kids' names, your wife, or just a strange
Ooh.
reference?
Man, that's a good question. Usually, the words that we use are mascots for different teams. Whether it was Iowa for Hawkeyes or Panthers where I went to school. That's usually where they come from. Every once in a while you do have a city. A lot of times what you see is that you group, whether it's a group of plays or if it's run plays. We've used cars before, Chevy, Dodge, those kinds of things. So usually you kind of group them with different things based on the kind of play that you have. But I actually did have a system that I used Omaha, just like Peyton did, probably stemmed from the same places, had some of the same coaches. So I used Omaha a few times as well.
Okay, what did Omaha mean for you?
For us, Omaha was changing the count to like a quick count. Okay. So if we had called it on 2 in the huddle and you wanted to go up and change a play at the line of scrimmage, play clock's running down, hey, Omaha, set up the ball snap. So it was, to speed that count up. It's probably how Peyton uses it, but knowing Peyton, he's probably got a bunch of dummy calls too, so you can't figure out, what Omaha means and when he's actually going to snap it on a quick count.
But when you go to the line of scrimmage and you're going to throw out Chevy, or how would you call the play where you're going to use one of those code words and you would audible so your team would know it was a pass, we're going to change it to a run?
Well, a lot of times if we would call 2 plays in the huddle, but if you were going to do something like Peyton is doing, or where you just change everything at the line of scrimmage, those code words would mean everything. So if you called Chevy, that would mean a certain pass protection for the offensive line. That would mean a certain route for the receivers. So you could go up and you have a play called in the huddle, and then if you wanted to do something different, you could easily just go Chevy, or you could call Chevy for the guys on the outside, and then you might have to call a pass protection for the offensive lineman, which was probably one word as well. You probably just used one word to signify, hey, this is what we're going to do. So usually just a couple words at the line of scrimmage could change an entire play.
He's Kurt Warner from the NFL Network joining us from the streets of New York, Dan Patrick Show. Not that you're on the streets. I mean, you're just there walking around. Right? Has anybody noticed you as you're walking the streets of New York?
The great thing about New York is that there's usually so many people, so you see people kind of take a double look, but by the time they realize it, you're well past them and you're in a mob of people, and so it's kind of a great place to be.